Hello everyone, and welcome to the video where I go through all of the different racial traits, and you can therefore not have to read them and can kind of tab out or do whatever while I read through the entire blue post for you. Hopefully, you will enjoy it. There we go, let's get started. So, we start off with a Bashiok, the community manager, decided to post a blue post talking about all of the different changes. Keep in mind the fact that these aren't, like, fixed in place. They could be changed. It's not even in beta yet. So let's get going. Enough talk. It's time to talk. We're planning some changes to racial traits for Warlords of Draenor. We recently posted a dev water cooler, Pruning the Garden of War, where that kind of talks about a lot of their different changes. That dives deeper into the philosophy behind these changes, and now we wanted to give you the full details of what's coming. In order to keep racials more in line with one another, we've decided to bring down a couple of high outliers, then establish a fair baseline and bring the other racials up to that. We're accomplishing this by improving old passives, replacing obsolete ones, and adding a few new ones where necessary. Ultimately, our goal is to achieve much better parity among races. There aren't any current plans to change pandaren or worgen racials. Blood Elf. Arcane Acuity is a new racial passive ability that increases critical strike chance by 1%. Arcane Torrent now restores 20 runic power for Death Knights, up from 15 runic power, 1 holy power for Paladins, or 3% for mana for Mage, Priest, and Warlocks, up from 2% mana. Other aspects of the ability remain unchanged. Draenei, Heroic Presence, has been redesigned. It no longer increases hit by 1% and instead increases strength, agility, and intellect scaling with character level. Now this is just my own thoughts. Keep in mind the fact that they're getting rid of hit and expertise, so they're replacing it with this ability, or this changed, not because hit wasn't a good thing or something, but it's going away, so it would be literally useless, and that is why it is being changed. Gif of the Naru now heals for the same amount over 5 seconds, down from 15 seconds. So it still does the same amount of healing, it just heals a lot faster, making it kind of a little bit more bursty, heal-wise. Dwarf. Crackshot has been removed, was 1% expertise with ranged weapons. Mace specialization was 1% expertise with maces, and has been replaced with Might of the Mountain. Might of the Mountain is a new racial passive ability that increases critical strike, bonus damage, and healing dealt by 2%. 2% increase there. Stone Form now also removes magic and curse effects in addition to poison, disease, and bleed effects, along with reducing damage taken by 10% for 8 seconds. It remains unusable while CC'd. Gnome. Expansive Mind now increases maximum mana, energy, rage, and runic power by 5% instead of only increasing maximum mana. Escape Artist's cooldown has been reduced to 1 minute, down from 1.5 minutes. Short Blade specialization was 1% expertise with one-handed swords and daggers, and has been replaced with Nimble Fingers. Nimble Fingers is a new racial passive ability that increases haste by 1%. Goblin. Time is Money now grants a 1% increase to haste, up from only attack speed and spell haste. So it just increases haste straight up, not just the attack speed and spell haste, but actual just haste. Human. Mace specialization has been removed, was 1% expertise with maces. Sword specialization has been removed, was 1% expertise with swords. My mouth is getting all dry, I can't talk anymore, but I can finish this! The Human Spirit has been redesigned. It no longer increases spirit by 3%, and instead now increases 2 secondary stats by an amount scaling with character level. You can choose which 2 secondary stats it increases, and this has not yet been implemented, so they haven't implemented it into the alpha, is what it means. None of these have actually been implemented into the game yet. Night Elf. Quickness now also increases movement speed by 2%, in addition to increasing dodge chance by 2%. Touch of a Loon is a new passive ability which increases haste by 1% at night and critical strike chance by 1% during the day. That is kind of cool. You got it swapping between night and day, so I guess when you're raiding it's going to be 1% haste, because pretty much everyone raids during the night. Orc. Axe specialization has been removed, was 1% expertise with axes. Hardiness now reduces the duration of stun effects by 10%, down from 15%. Tauren. Brawn is a new racial passive ability that increases critical strike, bonus damage, and healing done by 2%. Endurance now increases stamina by an amount scaling with character level instead of increasing base health by 5%. Troll. Berserking now increases haste by 15%, down from 20%. Beast Slaying now increases XP earned from killing beasts by 20% instead of increasing damage dealt versus beasts by 5%. Deadeye has been removed, was 1% expertise with ranged weapon. And Undead, Will of the Forsaken's cooldown has been increased to 3 minutes, up from 2 minutes. So basically, a few nerfs here and there, lots and lots of buffs across the board, except for pretty much Troll and Undead, and of course, Orc. Orc, Troll, and Undead. The Hordes getting nerfed here and there. I guess they felt that Horde was just too OP. The poor Alliance just couldn't cope. Anyway, that's it for this video where I go through all of the changes. If you want to watch the discussion video, there will be a link to that at the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and cheerio!